Hi, I'm Nick with Dragonfire Racing. Today I'm going to demonstrate final installation and adjustment on our new Maverick Max 4-doors. Now that I've gone through the instructions and I got the doors on the car, I'm going to go through with our final adjustment and setting the doors where they work properly. As you can see here, we got bolts here, here, and up in here. So what these adjustments allow you is on the front door, you can adjust the front door up or down to line up with the plastics. And then on the rear, same thing. Everything's still loose right now, as you can see, but it allows me to set everything in place and start snugging everything down as I'm going. I'm going to start out by taking this rear door. Everything's still loose. I want to make sure my plastics are already installed, pins are on. I want the door hinge to actually line up with the plastic, and then I'm going to go and start snugging up all my hardware. As you can see on our vehicle, we are running harnesses, but this is designed to also work with the factory seatbelt ratchet, which sits on this side of this tab. This tab will sit on this side, comes down, also has a slot adjustability here for this bracket to move up and down so everything can line up properly. Now that I have the brackets here snug and to where the door is not really moving, I'm going to swing the door in, check for my fitment, make sure it's not going to make contact with the plastics here. Got a good line coming around. We also integrated a bump stop here at the bottom of the door. There is a rubber bump stop that we include. With this is going to go on the bottom here to make contact with the plastics to allow a little bit of resistance on the latch, keep from any rattles happening. This bump stop may be required, may not be required, depending on installation and fitment. This rear mount I did leave loose. It is designed to slide in and out on this rear bolt here. These are just snugged. They're not fully tightened yet. The striker pin is still loose. What I want to do is I want to adjust the latch up to match the striker pin so that when it closes, it'll grab full engagement and not hit on the inside of the latch plate here. And then once I get to this point, I want to go ahead and latch the door, make sure everything's lined up still on the outside. Everything still looks good. Go ahead and snug this hardware. I'm going to snug the latch striker pin. And then check to see how it latches. Now the latch will come close to the head of the bolt on the striker pin here, but once the door closes, the latch actually moves up the striker pin and away from the head. So in turn, that makes the head come closer to the latch plate. And I don't want it to make contact here. And as you can see, there is a little bit of resistance already once the plate is making contact with the plastic. So on this car, on this side of this car, does not require the rubber bumper. Once I have the rear door adjusted, I'm going to move to the front door. The front door, we want this top bar to line up with the top here a little bit. It's not going to be exactly exact because we want more of this angles here to line up than we do so much this. They're both cosmetically, so we want the best look possible. So we can adjust the door up and down and forward and back to gain correct amount of adjustment here. Although I have snugged this mount up, this mount does have to come back loose for the adjustment on this upper bracket. This bracket down here will retain the rear door along with the striker pin, so loosening this one back up a little bit is not going to hurt. I also have these two bolts down here that are still loose, a little bit snug, that are for this front door mount. These holes are slotted. This hole is slotted up here to allow the door to move forward and backwards and then up and down. When installing this lower bracket, in the instructions it states you can put this tab on the inside or the outside of this lower factory tab. The reason being is the door is designed to make contact with the plastics on the bottom here on this bottom rail when closed. What that does is when the door is closed, it puts the resistance against the latch and also allows the door to stay tighter and less movement and rattle. This front striker plate has actually been left raw for better visibility. We do have the glove box out still. Striker pin is still loose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the striker pin right now. Go ahead and latch the door. I'm going to line up make my fitment and use the striker pin to hold the front of the door up while I make my final adjustments in the rear. Now that I got the restriker pin retaining the front of my door to hold the gap that I want, I'm going to go ahead and make sure all these are lining up properly and snug them down. And then check for final adjustment here. The door is actuating smoothly. It's not dropping off the striker pin when I open it. It wants to latch smoothly. I got my lines look good. Fitment seems to be good. It's making contact. Lock lever works. So now I'll go ahead and finish tightening everything here. Ooh. Door's still operating smoothly. I'll go ahead and make sure my striker pin is snugged up good and tight, and that it's not making contact to the inside of the latch plate. The latch has enough room to the head of the bolt. Now that I got my doors adjusted where I want them, I'm going to go back and recheck all my hardware, tighten and snug everything down, and make sure that everything's staying where I want it to.